every new program of God will demand a new version of you. This is why progressively you are supposed to be growing in keeping to pace with the very purpose of God per time and per season for your life.
God, he said, thou shalt condemn. You were prepared for battle before he came. Wake up to your understanding of who you are. That's why I said they that do know their God, they are strong and they do exploit. Do you know how many people have ganged up against you? Do you know how many have lost their sleep, yet you are prospering? 1,000 shall fall by your side, 10,000 by your right hand. It shall not come near you. Your eyes will see and behold the recompense of the wicked. You've not even seen up to 11,000 enemies and you are shaking. He said in one day 11,000 can fall, you'll still be standing. You need to know who you are. You need to know. Sit down, let's round up. We will continue another time. Mandoraka Felatea. Understand your design. Do you know why some of us don't beg for connection? My job is not to look for one. My job is to shine. He said Gentiles will come to your light. He said kings will come to the brightness of your rising. Your job is not, I beg, if you lie, I beg, connect me with it. Don't dehumanize yourself. Now there's a place for honorable partnership, but don't devalue yourself. It's like you are forgetting that thing. You go and ask Joseph. It's your light that will take you to the palace. You will beg them, they'll forget. But when your light shines, it will create a need that only you can solve. You know what the king said? He said, for as much as God has been with you and shown you these things, he said, there's no one in your class. According to your word, the nations will be ruled. If your light is not shining, even if they take you there, they can make you cleaner. Have you not seen people who met presidents and became cleaners? It's not just about open doors. Go as light, go as wind, go as fire, go as stone. When the king see you, he will honor you. When Pharaoh saw Jacob, he knelt down for Jacob to bless him. If you are the father of Joseph, you have the right to bless me. And a foreigner blessed the king. Go as light, sir. When we are talking purpose, we are talking intents. We are talking calling and assignment. And then we are talking design and uniqueness of your makeup. Then number 4, we are talking consciousness of impact. You are not into purpose to enjoy. Enjoyment is a byproduct. You are into purpose to make impact. God has an agenda. He wants to use you as the channel. That's why he said in Matthew 5:16, let your light so shine among men or before men. Let them see your good work and glorify your heavenly Father. So the whole idea of purpose is to impact people so that people glorify God. They see your good works, they glorify your heavenly Father. You are not fulfilling purpose if you are not impacting others. In 1 Peter 4:10, it said we should use our gift to serve others. Philippians 2:4, it said don't look out for your own. He said but for the interest of others. You were raised so that you can bring justice to a territory. And when you bring justice, there will be peace. When you bring peace, there will be prosperity. You were empowered so that you can lift a vulnerable person. Not to do showmanship while everybody is your slave. You were blessed with resources so that somebody else will not need to cry for food, for shelter, for clothes. Because he sent his word to Jacob, it lightened upon Israel. Isaiah 9:8. He sent his word to Jacob. He gave you a purpose so that others can find meaning. He didn't give you a purpose so that you become a God among men. So when you are talking purpose, if it has not impacted men, the circuit is not complete. The spectrum of purpose includes impact. When the time came for Jesus, Matthew 4:14 and 15, Luke 4:14 and 15, the Bible said he returned in the power of the Spirit, and his fame went abroad. But the goal was not fame. The land of Zebulun, the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentile, the people that sat in darkness have seen a great light. They that sat in the regions of the shackles of death, he said, a great light is sprung forth. That's why he said in Luke 4:18, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me not to feel important. He has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Some of you, the amount of money you have now is enough to renovate one's primary school in a village. But you don't think purpose. You have 8 cars in your compound. There are schools where children don't have desk. Some of you, the amount of money you have now is enough to sponsor a crusade, so that on your account at least 1,000 souls are saved. Some of you, the amount of money you have now, you should call and say, are you planting a church anywhere? I want to build one. A place where men will gather and glorify God. Some of you, the amount of money you have now is enough for you to drill boreholes. Even if you are selfish and you can't do it anywhere else, start from your village. How much do you drill a borehole? There are places where people trek miles to get a bucket of water. You drive there for Christmas. They say, we are going home for Christmas. You are not going home. You are going to a bush. With wisdom, what does it take to drill a borehole? 2.5 million. That's what some of you spend for weekend. The amount of money some of you have now is enough to go to a school and just buy them 3 computers. There are schools where if it rains, it literally rains on children. And to make it worse, some of us who are in government, all we need to do is to present a bill for something to happen. You know what we do? Instead of presenting that bill, we rather collect the money meant for that constituency and we buy Ferrari and park in a village that have no road. And because we don't have sense in Africa particularly, people still celebrate them. You go to the Western world, they teach people that relevance is not what you have, it's what you give. But you come to Africa, relevance is what you have, even if you give nothing. So you see a leader, a politician, even a pastor is living in a village where there's no road. He has a Rolls Royce. He has a Ferrari. And some people without character, they still project this. What a shame. Purposeless existence. Can I tell you something? Even if they find the mercy of salvation, they will be naked in eternity. Hope you know people cry in heaven. John was crying in heaven. If you think you will manipulate, rape humanity and go to heaven on the last day and say, Lord, I'm sorry, and you'll get salvation, you will serve in heaven as a servant. It doesn't take too much to impact people. It doesn't take too much. Some of you, the amount of money you have, even if you don't have an NGO where you can pay school fees, come to places like this. We have students on list that we pay school fees for. Give me 5. Let me pay their school fees every term. How much do we pay? Pastor Sonny, where's Sunday? Most of the university students will pay for their school fees. There's no one that is more than 300,000. Some is 120. Some is 200,000. School fees plus accommodation. And then on a monthly basis, we give some 30,000, 50,000 for upkeep. So in a whole year, if you adopt one student, at most, maybe 600,000. That's what some of us use for fuel in 1 month. Useless existence. You don't know purpose until your life impacts humanity. They say only 2% of the world population is living in the line of the wealthy. 2%. And more than 70% are below poverty line. That means everybody who God is helping has a responsibility to help at least 4 people. Even if you don't believe in church to do it in your environment. It's called purposeful living. Some of you, if you check now, from January till now, you can't remember anybody that you say take 1,000. Not even because of compassion. You can't remember one. What kind of life is that? Even when Paul was about to depart, in 2 Timothy 4:6, he said, now I'm ready to be offered. Because he saw his life as an offering. That's why he said, I die daily. It's self-denial. Purpose comes with self-denial. There are some of you, all you need to do is to chip in a word for somebody. But you will never do it. That one call can give somebody else meaning. But you are too busy, you forget. What a life. Purpose is impact. Purpose is calling and assignment. Purpose is discovery of your identity. Purpose is understanding divine intent. And finally, purpose is living for eternity. Living for reward. When you get to that point where your focus is that when you live here, you will hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant. I was in the UK last week, and Dr. Ferdinand was teaching. He said there are 2 races that God has set before everyone. He said one is the race of life. He said another one is the race of your assignment or calling. He said when you finish the race of life, God will say, well done, thou good servant, come into thy rest that God has prepared for you before time began. He said when you finish the race of your assignment, God will say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. He said, now step into your reward. You must run both. If you don't live with eternity in view, you will waste today. Why do you think Paul fought a good fight? 2 Timothy 4:7 and 8. Why do you think he finished his race? Why do you think he kept the faith? He told us in verse 8, there remaineth for me a crown of righteousness. So all his life, that crown was what he was pursuing. I have taught you about the 12 rewards of eternity. Go back, listen to it. Find out how to live your life. In 2 Corinthians 5:10, the Bible says we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, where all of us shall receive our rewards for what we did while we were in the body, either good or evil. In Revelation 22:12, it said, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give to every man, not according to salvation, according to his works. You must live a life of purpose. Tell yourself, no day will pass from today where I don't live purpose. Look at 2 examples. Joseph and Jesus. As touching intent, both of them knew it. In Genesis 37 verse 5 to 11, Joseph had a dream, and so he knew he would be a leader. He saw the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowing to him. So he knew he was a leader. He understood God's intent for him. And Jesus, John 3:16 and 17, he said God sent him, his only begotten son, to die and bring salvation to the world. He knew his purpose. Then, as touching assignment, Genesis 45:7, Joseph preserved the whole world in the day of famine. He did his assignment. For Jesus, Luke 4:18, Matthew 1:21, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, recovery of sight to the blind, and to set at liberty them that are bruised. That was all he did while he was on earth. He knew his assignment. So they knew God's purpose for them. They knew the assignment and they did it. And then you speak about design. Joseph knew he was an interpreter of dream. Genesis 41:39. Anywhere he goes, I have a dream. He said, tell me. I have a makeup that equips me to do something about it. So if you say you have a dream, Jacob must hear it. He knew he was designed to interpret dreams. And then for Jesus, he knew he was a pattern man, to live a perfect life and to exhibit divine nature, not just to save man, but to become an example.
Every new program of God will demand a new version of you. This is why progressively you are supposed to be growing in keeping to pace with the very purpose of God per time and per season for your life.